Welcome back to Zadara Storage. This video will illustrate how to connect to the cube and mount your new storage. Again, if you have any questions or need support at any time, please visit our support resources at support.zadarastorage.com. Okay, let's begin. Last, we left off on the cube deployment completion page, which was covered by our previous video. So you may remember that connecting to the cube requires direct connect access between the Zadara Cloud and your AWS Virtual Private Cloud, or VPC. Taking a look at our AWS control panel, we can see our VPC ID and the properties of the EC2 Cube instance. All other instances in the VPC will be able to connect to your newly purchased storage. To do this, we start by adding a virtual private gateway, which is found in the VPCs section of the AWS control panel. You may already have a virtual private gateway associated with your VPC. In this case, you would use this for accepting the direct connects, which we will do in a minute, but in this example, we're going to assume this is a new VPC. Click Create Virtual Private Gateway and give it a name. Next, we attach this new virtual private gateway to the VPC ID where our instance resides. When you complete this, you should see the VGW in an attached state. The next step will be to go to the Direct Connects in the AWS menu. Here, you should see the Zadara Direct Connect provided by the cube. In this example, there are virtual interfaces in the Direct Connects for 2 cubes. There are 2 virtual interfaces per cube. This is required for redundancy and load balancing. If you have purchased multiple cubes, you will need to accept all of the Direct Connects interfaces after setting your virtual private gateways. In this example, we can see Direct Connects for 2 cubes, but for now, we will just accept the virtual interfaces for one of those cubes. This is done by expanding the 2 Direct Connects for one of the cubes and accepting the virtual interfaces. Next, we select the virtual private gateway we just created. Now, do the same for the other virtual interface. Now you'll notice that the states are changing. The state of the interfaces will go from a pending to a down state, and then back up to an available state. Click the refresh button to see what state your virtual interfaces are in. Sometimes this can happen very quickly or take some time depending on AWS. Typically, we see this happen in about 5 minutes, but just be aware it may take longer. Now that our Direct Connect interfaces are in an available state, we go back to the VPC section and click on Route Tables in the left-hand menu. We select the route table that was created for our VPC and select Route Propagation below. Select Edit and check the Propagate checkbox for the virtual private gateway connected to our Direct Connect. This allows the routes to propagate from our cube VPSA to the VPC where your EC2 instances live. Now we are fully connected and can access the IP address and management URL shown on the Cube completion status page. To test our connection, we are going to perform a ping from an SSH instance in the Cube's VPC to the IP address on our Cube status page. In case your ping fails, rewind the video and ensure you performed the connection steps properly, or contact support. Okay, looks good. Now we will mount a simple NFS share using the export path from the Cube status page. Next, we will connect to our Cube GUI. To do this, we create a port forward to port 80 using our Cube IP and an EC2 instance in your VPC. Since most SSH services have a timeout, we're going to run top to keep our port forward active. So, going over to a new browser tab, we use localhost to access the Zadara Storage Cube VPSA, and we will use the username and password provided by the Cube status page. After logging in, you will be required to update your password. Now we're in the VPSA GUI. This concludes our video on connecting to the Cube. Thanks again, and we'll see you on our next video for general GUI usage. Please contact support if you have any questions or need additional information regarding Zadara storage products. See you later!